right. What's up, guys? It's Nick here with some raw day trading, and I am just wrapping up a little bit early today, and I'm going to do a recap and then bounce out. The overall market, the S&P 500, is selling off, and amid tariff tensions, whatever, going into next week, I expect it to probably sell into the tariff news, or not the news, but the tariff like April 2nd clarity, and then once there's clarity, it'll probably have a little bit of a rebound, but we'll see how deep that selling goes. It is looking like it wants to retest the lows from March 13th, from a couple weeks ago or a week and a half ago. And I am sitting up. I traded pretty well today, really zoned in, really focused, and I'm sitting up $793, almost $800, and I will take that to finish off an annoying week. I'm only up $1,000, which is fine, but I was up $1,200 after Tuesday, and then I gave back a good amount, and so like after the 800, it puts me up just over a G, and so gonna wrap it up here. I will say that what I really liked about today is that it was in an adverse market and I was able to do well in it. And I think that's a really good way, like not only just me, but some other traders as well were having trouble. So that's a good way that I judge how well I'm trading, is how am I doing versus the overall market. And that's what I like to see. I like to see green. And now I want to see even more green when the market is good. That's like an overall goal. The kind of pre-market action today was a little bit dry, nothing too crazy. And then I have one cut that I hesitated on, that I'm going to look at the video right here. There was a lot of stuff that I just didn't. I wrote a note to myself to be careful. Careful of stuff that lingers and doesn't give the dip you. Oh yeah, okay. Here's a note. Careful of stuff that lingers and doesn't give the dip that you're expecting, because once it does do the dip, if it holds for too long past where you're like kind of expecting the normal time range to be when it like makes an expected move, that move tends to be much bigger because it catches a lot of people off guard. That is a note, and I have to clarify that. I need to keep that in my consolidated notes. My plan today was to I wrote this in the chat, but my plan was to avoid any side names today and just focus on the main names, or since it was Friday, wait for kind of like rehash continuation of the previous stocks that we saw earlier in the week, because that's sometimes what happens. We got a little bit of action on DBVT, a little bit of action, like not crazy, like it was just some range trading stuff, but there was a little bit of action on PRTG. I could have gotten caught in a dip. I didn't really see. We can actually watch that right now. I wasn't paying attention to it. It's funny, like if you switch your attention with the momentum, sometimes you get saved from like things just falling apart, because it seemed like once I focused from PRTG, I was like, this thing is, where is it? Okay, so it was just kind of like lingering here. I wasn't up much on it. Continuing to do these big, wild, like full retracement moves, and I was looking for, I don't know, to see if it would punch above this level or punch below here, and then it tests down here 1, 2, 3 times until it does like it goes for a breakout here, totally retraces, and then just blows through to a halt down lower. And I don't think too many people would have gotten caught in that, because that's kind of like you would have been stopping right there. like either that or you're trying for the breakout and it's not working, so you're stopping, which is fine. Yeah, that's a wild move. That would have cost a lot of money if I was in it, but I wasn't really interested in it. I was more focused on DBVT because that's what I'm saying. It's like as this one's kind of pushing up and like kind of taking the attention, that one just falls apart. So a little bit inside game there, inside baseball. The attention moves, it shifts around in funny ways. Okay, let's bounce around to 10:04. I hesitated too long on a cut on which one? Which one did I hesitate on? Probably DBVT. Oh yeah, okay. So I sized down here. I had a really good trade in this kind of range right here, from 5.8 to 6 something. But I wanted to break out here, which is kind of silly. Like given the history here, it's kind of inside range still. I didn't really see too much excitement going on in the tape to kind of justify a breakout, but it'll have a little bit, you know. And it moves, it's moving, so I'm like, it's hesitating. Okay, I jump in. Should have been cutting right there. And then I end up having a cut right here. And like I'm still holding, which is like a silly move. This is a really bad move. I could have lost like over $100 on that, but I wait for it to come back up. And I get filled at a decent price. Yeah, that was really bad, actually. I need to work on that. So the correct sequence would have been, at least for this type of trade, you're waiting for it to go to 36. Okay, it's hesitating, so you jump in right there. You get filled. It's not going. You cut it right there. Yeah. Okay, so one more time. So you're waiting for it to go up. You're looking for the breakout. Okay, could have gotten in there maybe, but it's hesitating. Okay, get in. Oh, no, it's going back down right after you get in. There's not a lot of green on the tape. Get in. Cut it. Yeah, it slows down. It's just, it went too slow. Like, that was the thing. The tape was supposed to accelerate, not decelerate, and kind of get sandbagged there. And so it doesn't look like this was I mean, if you were to short it, that would have been a great place to short it, honestly. Like, especially if you were scalping. And that does look like a lot of what was happening there. Okay. So we can review for a second. This trade right here, I jump in. Descending, breaks down through levels, testing, and then I just load up here. I was like, I think it's going to test 6. It does test 6, goes to 608, and I end up getting out at 604 and 606. So great trade there, about 400, $400 or $500, 450. And then that really set my day pretty solid. I think that was like the last meaningful trade I took. And then there was this S and SE trade. So I have like an overall understanding or theory that when the market is selling off like it is today, that traders will hide out in these kind of micro penny names or very wild, hot, low float names, like very wild, not your normal low float, like very low liquidity, low volume. And those are the names that tend to get played. Very dangerous time to play it. And while I thought that, I also had made a decent profit on the day and I didn't want to risk anything. And so I was just sitting there kind of watching this. I played a little bit on it and I made $34 net on it, and it's whatever. It did make a move. It made a little bit of a move, but it just is what it is. I wasn't I wasn't trying to play aggressively as the S&P 500 was like literally just selling, just such consistent unloading. And so, yeah, that was the day. And let's see, I can even bring up the S&P right now. Yeah, it's still still going lower. It's down 2%. 2% is a pretty big drop for the S&P 500. Tesla, surprisingly, is kind of holding up. Tesla's only down 2%. Like normally, well, at least double the volatility, I think, of the S&P 500. Yeah. All right. Well, interesting stuff. Another interesting day in the market. I'm going to take off. You guys have a fantastic weekend. Get your studying in. Be better. Always be doing better. And have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. Goodbye.